This boy loved designing new gadgets. One day he finds a high-tech robot, but it came with several deadly enemies. Now he must befriend the robot to save the world. Amato is an ordinary young boy, but his dreams are really big and also his creativity. He usually spends his time practicing an ancient defense technique called Silat. Amato is really impatient and wants to master Silat as soon as possible, so he defeats the bullies at his school. But his teacher, Taksa, advises Amato to never use Silat for violence. It's an art meant for self-defense. Amato suddenly remembers that he's getting late for his meeting with his best friend Pian. Meanwhile, far away in space, several alien robots are competing in a battle. One of them is an advanced robot named MechaBot. He believes that he can defeat all the robots in battle, but he must have a master to participate. Till then, he must stay in the cage, which is frustrating him severely. After this prison ship, there's another spaceship led by a powerful cyborg named Grakakus. He wants to capture MechaBot to complete his robot collection. Therefore, he orders his team to attack the prison ship. Back on Earth, Amato meets Pian, and together they work on their school's science project. Amato has designed the machine while Pian is going to build it. It's called CocoWay 3000, a mind-reading cocoa mixer. They have been working on it for weeks, and it's finally ready. Pian puts it on and thinks of his favorite cocoa flavor. Just in an instant, the machine reads his mind and prepares the desired flavor. Amato gets really excited as they are definitely getting the highest grades in science. He thanks Pian, who is capable of turning Amato's drawing into reality. He inherited this talent from his dad, Mr. Aman, who is an award-winning researcher. Pian suddenly hears a beeping sound from his dad's computer and rushes to check it. The signal is coming from an approaching comet. Mr. Aman is obsessed with this discovery. He even named this comet after himself. Pian immediately informs his dad about the signals and he rushes home in seconds. Mr. Aman notices that the comet's trajectory is changing and it's heading towards Earth. Pian tries to show Mr. Aman his science project, but Mr. Aman is more interested in the comet and rushes away to inform the authorities. The comet is actually the prison ship that is falling down on Earth. Amato takes CocoWay 3000 and heads back home. On the way, he keeps imagining how shocked his science teacher will be after seeing their project. Suddenly, he notices the comet in the sky. It draws nearer and nearer and crashes down in front of him. Amato gets curious and proceeds to check on the comet. At first, he sees nothing at all as the prison ship is guarded by an invisible shield. But then Amato slips and penetrates through the shield. He finds the destroyed ship and broken robot parts. Amato notices something moving and rushes to help it. It's MechaBot. Amato is really excited to find a talking robot, but MechaBot gets threatened and shoots at the trees behind Amato as a warning. Unfortunately, the laser hits another robot named Trocket and it comes forward to take his revenge. MechaBot lies that Amato is his master who ordered the attack. Trocket gets more triggered and attacks both MechaBot and Amato. They run away and get on Amato's bicycle. MechaBot finally shows off his capabilities and fuses with the bicycle. It turns into an ultra-fast motorcycle and helps them travel really fast. Trocket doesn't give up and keeps following them. Amato asks MechaBot to go even faster, but he gets out of control and crashes into Amato's house. The next morning, Amato wakes up in his room and assumes that the last night was just a dream. But then his dad reaches there and asks about MechaBot lying in his room. Amato lies that it is just his science project and he runs away to his workshop. He finally gets a chance to talk to MechaBot. He claims to be the most powerful destroyer power sphere in this galaxy. Amato asks about his ability to combine with objects and requests a demonstration on the broom. MechaBot shouts Mechanize and combines with the broom. It turns into a huge gun and causes a hole in the wall in just one shot. Amato gets really happy to be the master of such a powerful robot. But MechaBot says he just playfully called him master. To actually become his master, Amato must defeat him, seize a device called Mechanizer, and press the confirmation button. Amato tricks MechaBot and snatches the Mechanizer. He presses the confirmation button and officially becomes the master of MechaBot. Amato notices another button. It's the truth button, and it makes MechaBot really obedient and polite, and he only speaks truth. Suddenly they get attacked by Trocket once again. He has been looking for them all night. Amato tells MechaBot to mechanize with his backpack and it turns into a powerful jet. Amato uses it to fly away from Trocket, but the stubborn robot keeps following him. He starts shooting at them and MechaBot gets demechanized. Amato starts falling down and asks MechaBot for help. But the only power he has is to mechanize with other things, so Amato asks the robot to mechanize with him. It works, and Amato turns into a cyborg. He falls in the middle of a busy street but doesn't get any serious injury because of the armor. Then he takes a car's door and mechanizes it into a shield. Then he grabs another car part and makes a powerful gun. Amato uses it to attack Trocket and he falls down. Amato starts celebrating his success but gets interrupted by the public. Amato introduces himself as Amato and jumps off the bridge, but the armor didn't have any jets, so he falls down on a tree. Amato hurriedly gets up and rushes back home. Meanwhile, Trokit has survived and regrets getting defeated by a kid. He gets caught by Grakakus's guards, but an unknown hero saves him. The guards immediately report to their master, and Grakakus gets really enraged. He wants to erase this new hero as soon as possible. But first he needs to find MechaBot to complete his collection. He meets the prison ship caretaker and Trokit and finds out that MechaBot has a new master. Grakakus is ready to kill Amato just like he killed the previous master. Unaware of the danger coming his way, Amato is excited to be portrayed as a superhero. The next morning he sits down to eat breakfast and hears the news about Amato. The city already has a hero named Maskmana, so it will not be easy for Amato to make his place. Amato leaves for the school in a hurry and asks MechaBot to act like the Cocoa Machine. On the way, they encounter the bullies who steal all of Amato's pocket money, but he doesn't use MechaBot to keep his identity hidden. Later at school, Amato tries to use MechaBot as a cocoa maker, but he fails miserably and gets an F in science. Pian gets really depressed by their result, so Amato cheers him up by telling him about MechaBot. But Pian doesn't believe it until MechaBot shows off by combining himself with the broom and the bicycle. Suddenly, they get interrupted by the transfer student, Tamara. She recognizes Amato and asks him to replace her wheelchair. Amato keeps denying his identity, but suddenly gets attacked by Grakakus's guards. Amato gets on MechaBot bike and rushes away. He keeps speeding to get away from the guards, but he crashes into a market. The bicycle is destroyed, so MechaBot combines with a carriage instead. They keep driving away and reach the edge of the lake. MechaBot pulls out his jet and flies in the air. On the way, Amato presses the truth button to know why Grakakus is after MechaBot. He turns out to be a very old enemy who is collecting all the power spheres because they are high-tech robots with the ability to grant powers to others. Grakakus wants to use them to rule the universe. Therefore, MechaBot willingly gave himself to space prison to hide from Grakakus. After a bumpy ride, Amato lands down in an apparently safe spot, but Grakakus reaches there too. Amato tries to find some useful objects to mechanize, but all he finds is toilet papers. Amato decides to use them anyway, and turns the tissue papers into time bombs. He keeps fighting with Grakakus head-to-head, but suddenly MechaBot pauses his work. He has gotten scared of Grakakus and starts recalling the past. Amato is combined with him so he can see his thoughts as well. MechaBot's previous master had sacrificed his life to save MechaBot. That's why he is so afraid of losing his master again. As MechaBot is not working, so Grakakus knocks him down easily. He was about to kill Amato, but Maskmana stops him. He kicks Grakakus away and gives Amato some time to heal. Grakakus gets triggered and uses his tentacles to pin down Maskmana, but Maskmana also has brought his drones who helps him cut through the tentacles, and he escapes while carrying Amato. The kid opens his eyes in a secret lab and meets Toksa, Aman, and the city's mayor, Andy. All three of them are Maskmana. They take turns to wear the armor and fight the enemy. The Maskmana suit is made up of a special element that was found in the crashed spaceship. It has the ability to learn from its user. That's why Aman decided to have multiple users. The suit has learned martial arts from Tok and tactics insights from Andy. They have been tracking Grakakus secretly, but Amato attracted them to the main city. He's not suitable to handle such a powerful robot, so Aman is planning to separate Amato and MechaBot. It sounds harsh, but it's the best for all of them. Amato accepts the reality and goes back home. He meets up with his friends and tries to forget about MechaBot, but he is still followed by Grakakus's robot guards. They blindly shoot at Amato and destroy the town. Grakakus reaches there and gets angrier at not finding MechaBot. He decides to kill Amato, so keeps following him. His attacks have affected the innocent public and even broken the train bridge. The passengers are going to fall, so Amato rushes to help them, but he is not powerful enough. Luckily, Andy reaches there in a Maskmana suit and saves the passengers. He also lures Grakakus away from Amato. Andy heads to their headquarters and gives the Maskmana suit to Aman. Meanwhile, Toksa is keeping an eye on their experiment with MechaBot. They have planned to separate the robot from Amato and combine it with Maskmana. It's the only way they can defeat Grakakus. MechaBot protests at first, but then he realizes it's the best for Amato's safety. In the end, he is still a kid. Outside the headquarters, Aman is facing the evil Grakakus. He is using all of his power spheres to gain maximum strength. Aman can't stand for long and gets knocked down eventually. He even breaks his spine and can't move anymore. Grakakus proceeds to kill him but gets interrupted by someone. It's Amato. Amato didn't want to be separated from his robot. Though he is a kid, he is ready to take this huge responsibility of saving the world. MechaBot doesn't want to lose Amato like his previous master, but Amato explains that he can't change fate. They both express their concern for each other, which impresses Toksa. He has realized that MechaBot and Amato are made for each and can only give their 100% while fighting together. Amato faces Grakakus bravely and combines with random objects to attack him. Unfortunately, MechaBot is still traumatized by his past and stops working again. Amato advises the robot to trust his master and close his eyes. Amato takes the lead and gives Grakakus a tough time. When Grakakus sees his defeat, he uses his dirty move. He has captured a bunch of innocent citizens, including Pian and Tamara. He drops all of them from his spaceship. Mask Mana drones catch a few of them while Pian and Tamara are still in danger. Amon uses his last bit of strength and drags himself to the corner to catch Pian while Tamara is saved by Amato. Grakakus doesn't give up yet and unlocks his full strength. Afterwards, he attacks Amato and separates him from MechaBot. Grakakus throws Amato off the edge and tries mechanizing with MechaBot. Luckily, it doesn't work because Amato is still alive. Realizing this, MechaBot pulls away from Grakakus and rushes to his master. They mechanize with the flying jet and turn into a huge robot. Amato tells MechaBot to close his eyes, but MechaBot is not afraid anymore. He has finally developed a strong bond with Amato and unlocks his full strength. Amato grabs the Mask Mana drones and mechanizes a powerful sword. He uses it to defeat Grakakus and destroys his spaceship. The ship falls down on Grakakus and finishes him forever. Amato gets back to normal form and helps the injured. The one who suffered the most is Amon. Due to his spine injury, he is paralyzed. But he is not worried about the town's safety anymore, because now it's in the responsible hands of MechaMato.